In today's video, we're going to talk about Aquaman 2, aka Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, which is apparently DC's last movie under the DCEU, predominantly classed as a Snyderverse movie. Even though Zack Snyder left 7 years ago, yeah, I get it. He came back to work on the Zack Snyder Justice League, but that wasn't a new movie. That was just adding post to scenes that were already there and adding one scene in his backyard. So this is supposed to be the last movie in the Hamadaverse because this was greenlit under Walter Hamada and the old regime. And then we're supposed to be getting the new universe, but the Flash kicked off the new universe. Nobody knows what this new universe is because James Gunn keeps contradicting himself. So, yo, what is freaking good, YouTube boys? To you if you are new around and make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Kaiju, Marvel, DC, Monsterverse, pop culture based content that we try to do on a daily basis. If you could, subscribe channel, turn notifications on, and let me know. Are you looking forward to Aquaman 2, aka The Lost Kingdom? Or are you going to boycott it because of a certain person? So, if you could, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. It's actually beautiful. No, it's not beautiful. I don't know. Go look. Maybe it is. And also check us out on x.com, aka Twitter, Warstu. Right. So, Aquaman 2 is a very interesting story. Just like Joker 2 is, because they both gross, not profit, gross, as in the movies turned over $1 billion. Yeah, I get it. It's not pounds, so it's not really significant, but $1 billion is still good. So in 2018, Aquaman made $1.1 billion, and it was 2.5 hours long. And ironically, this movie's coming out in December, the same month that this movie's coming out. So if this movie, the first movie, made over $1 billion, why is it taking 5 years to get a sequel? Joaquin Phoenix Joker, made by Todd Phillips, made $1 billion, and that's getting a sequel. But this movie comes out at the end of the year. It's Warner Brothers' last movie that they have filmed. Okay, outside of the Elseworlds storyline being Joker 2, there is no Batman 2. There's no other movies after this. I mean movies, live action. I don't mean animated movies. So this movie comes out in December, and there's so much controversy around it. Where is the trailer? This is actually breaking records already, because usually it's September in a few days, comes out in December, comes out just before Christmas. That could change. December the 20th has a production budget of $205 million US, although it has gone through at least 3 rounds of reshoots in the last 12 months. Michael Keaton's scenes were taken out, Ben Affleck was added in. And then still after Batfleck was taken out, there was still more scenes added or taken away. James Gunn did give notes, he said, to every single movie. So Batfleck was obviously taken out, so it doesn't coincide with the new DCU. Is this going to be a standalone movie, but at the same time connects? Most people have suspected Jason Momoa to be Lobo. I don't know why. So let's go over where is the new trailer. So apparently Warner Brothers have no money to release trailers. They spent too much money on The Flash. But they're advertising The Nun too. Yeah, I get it. They are. They've dropped a trailer for that. So I'm not buying that story. What most hate to use the word industry insiders, because most of them aren't even insiders. They're just people with Twitter accounts. So based on what most people are saying is they're not going to start promoting it till literally the last viable time to promote this movie. So allegedly, the trailer comes out in October. Now, the reason the trailer is not coming out till then is due to the controversial drama that will be, yo, Warstu, bleep this up because YouTube doesn't like this word, is in the trailer. She's also in the movie. She's not actually in the movie that much. So back in April at CinemaCon, there was a trailer already, but for some reason, people are like, yeah, they can't afford to make a trailer. Well, the trailer's already there. They just haven't put it out yet. They could put it out whenever they wanted to. They could literally put it out on their own streaming service. So we all know what happens in this footage, and it backs up the test screen information about the plot leak. The footage begins with Arthur raising the baby along with his father, Tom Curry. There are also a lot of scenes, plenty with Arthur going up against a Black Manta. Briefly appears. There's lots of different variations of what people said about the trailer. Nicole Kidman, Atlantean, rides a seahorse. that fires laser beams, while Yaya, Black Manta, now wields a staff that gives him a green power. He's looking to destroy Aquaman's life and the surface world. To stop Manta's scheme, Arthur teams up with Orm, his brother. So, some other information says there is some friction between the brothers, though Aquaman telling Black Manta, "No one hits my brother but me." Orm isn't a fan of this, however, responding, "Do not call me brother." They seem to put their differences aside at some point, however, with Orm saying to Arthur, "If you lead Atlantis, Atlantis will follow." It's an action-adventure story with a real bromance between Arthur and Orm. Says the director, James Wan, at the presentation. Orm was the villain the first time around, but this time Arthur needs help. The first movie ended with Orm in prison after he attempted to wage a war on the surface world, with Arthur taking the throne of Atlantis. That means the bad blood between the brothers isn't a huge surprise. Pete, now this is interesting, right? Because Pete Safran is now the co-head, and he's the producer. So if this movie doesn't do well, just like Shazam 2 was one of the lowest grossing movies ever, let alone one of the lowest grossing superhero movies ever, it's not going to look good for him. Pete Safran, my producer on Aquaman The Lost Kingdom, he's a dear friend. Momoa told Total Film. His future underwater hero amongst the DCU shakeup. I absolutely think Aquaman will be involved in the DCU. Says Aquaman, doesn't say Jason. It's on, bro. There's no one bigger than Aquaman, really. But also, I hope people are excited to see the new one. It's fun. I really enjoy doing comedy. There was some really funny stuff with Patrick Wilson. I really adore him. We had a great time working together. It's like we're brothers. There's a lot of cool stuff happening in this one. So, this is weird, right? Because this trailer footage was shown at CinemaCon exclusively if you went to CinemaCon in April. As of the time recording this audio on this SM7B Shure microphone, it is currently a few days before September. And the first trailer came out in April. So, I honestly do believe it's to do with the controversy around. Because as I say, The Nun 2 comes out in like a week or so. That's distributed by Warner Brothers, and they've dropped a trailer for it. And I don't understand what's stopping them dropping the trailer. They've dropped some promotional concept art pictures, if you like. Warner Brothers knows it's going to be bad for them when they do finally drop the trailer, because Mera is in the trailer, but based on all the information we know, she hasn't got an as prominent role in this movie as she did in the first one as the main narrative for Mera in this movie. Although during the court case, she did say she had some fight scenes that were cut out. Interesting. Her whole role in this movie is to give birth to the king's son, essentially. Aqualad, essentially. So it will be interesting because the first movie wasn't anything special, but it made 1.1 billion, but it was in 2018. Everything did well in 2018. Not really DC-wise, because DC has literally missed since Aquaman. It's pretty much missed. Yeah, I get it. The Batman did okay, $700 million. We get it. Joaquin Phoenix Joker. But we're talking about connected continuity. This is one of the last movies for DC that actually did very good in terms of connected universe, not a random Elseworlds storyline. But it's also worth saying that 71% of the money was made internationally, and it did get a Chinese release, and only 30% was made in America. So I don't understand why people get so obsessed and why studios love domestic numbers, because realistically, if your movie's going to make money at the box office, sure as hell isn't coming from America recently. I mean, unless Barbie or something, but I'm not expecting this movie to do great. I hope it does better than The Flash and Shazam 2 and Blue Beetle, because they all fell off a cliff. And realistically, even if it does half the numbers of the first movie, that would be like 650. Can't see it doing that. But I am looking forward to seeing what the hell this movie is, because there isn't many. I mean, yeah, sure, I could tell you a leak for this movie, but realistically, publicly, there isn't many leaks out about this. Okay, there's a few, but usually for every single comic book movie, there is multiple plot leaks from all the test screen, but for some reason, this is being kept under wraps. So, fair play, Warner Brothers, for keeping one of your movie under wraps. Although, when you sign an NDA and go to test screen, you shouldn't really say much anyway. So, likewise, guys, let us know, are you excited for this movie? Do you want to see where the freaking hell this trailer is? Do you think the reason they're holding it back to October is to do with the whole, I believe this word, scenario? We know that will cause massive controversy, but it might also cause interest in the movie because she does still have a pretty big fan base, irrespective of how the court case played out. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Check us out on Twitter or x.com. It's the same website. Warstu G, and I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch ya later.